I'm so excited that you are here today, and I cannot wait to ride with you. There are some important things that we need to get out of the way to get you properly set up. This video is gonna cover 4 different things to get you on your way. Number 1, bike setup. Number 2, resistance and terminology that I like to use during class. Number 3, some safety items. Number 4, some modifications. So let's get on our bike and figure out how to set it up. This is gonna be a general bike setup for you. From here, you can make those little fine-tune adjustments that are gonna make your ride even more comfortable. For example, for me, I tend to like my handlebars a little bit higher, and I like my seat a little further back. If something doesn't feel right, the most important thing is pause the ride, make the adjustments, all right? So let me show you how it's done. The first thing that we need to figure out is our saddle height. Set it to right around hip height and then have a seat. From here, you're gonna bring 1 foot all the way down and you wanna have a slight bend in your knee. Next is gonna be your seat forward and backwards. When your booty is nice and flush with the back of your seat and you look down, you want your knee to be roughly in line with where the pedal and the crank meet. There's like this little bolt, you want it to be roughly in line with that. Then your handlebar heights, you want it to be right around the same height as your seat. However, if you are newer to cycle, you are doing choreography on the bike, or you have lower back injuries, you do want to bring your handlebars a little bit higher. The last thing is gonna be the forward and backwards on your handles. So this is really gonna be a comfort thing. Put your hand in the corners. You don't wanna be completely locked out. You don't wanna be doing a push-up. You wanna have a nice straight arm, but with a little bit of a bend. That is your general bike setup. First up is base resistance. Base resistance is about a 1 to 2 on that scale. It shouldn't feel like you're pedaling air. You should feel like you have a little something underneath your feet. I want you to think about an easy all-day pace. Like you could literally be pedaling this all day long. This resistance is the one that we come back to oftentimes when we finish a song, when we're taking a recovery, or anytime that you hear me say back to base or base resistance. Next up is speed resistance. That's on a scale of 3 to 6. Now that is kind of a big scale for speed resistance. Anytime we're going fast in the saddle, the most important thing that I want you to think about is not bouncing. So if you're super bouncy on the saddle, you need to add enough resistance and focus on bracing your belly so that your booty is not bouncing on the seat. The only time you might notice a little bit of bouncing is if you're wearing padded shorts or you have a gel seat like I do. So 3 is a resistance that I would recommend as we're building into a speed effort, like a 3-4. Your actual speed resistance will probably be a 4 or 5, and a 6 is going to be when I want you to work a certain level of RPMs that is lower than that 100 to 130 RPM range that I give you. For example, a 90 to 110 RPM range. I do this so that you can push yourself and see what you can do without going past that threshold. All right, now my favorite, we're getting into climbing resistance. My former friends at Vasa knew me as the queen of legs, and my scale of 6 to 10 is very well known with them, so I'm gonna share it with you. 6 is your absolute lightest climb. It is gonna be the lightest gear that's gonna support you out of the saddle. And what this feels like, your feet, instead of falling like rocks out of the saddle, you should feel like they are gliding down like leaves falling from a tree. 7 out of 10. Sometimes I call it an attack resistance, not too often, but this is gonna be what I consider an easy hard. It is not the easiest climbing resistance that you have, but you have room to go. This is kind of where we're getting started. 8 out of 10. This is where the fun starts to happen. This is where we get a little bit more serious on our climbs. This definitely is starting to feel hard. You have room to go. It is still sustainable. You can still meet the interval, but you are starting to feel like, whoa. Your 9 out of 10 is almost max. You are working really hard and you are starting to feel that pressure underneath your legs. 10 out of 10 is gonna be the max that you can go at the prescribed RPM that I give you. This is what I like to call a personal record resistance. This is, you got no more room to go, you can hold it, but at some point your legs are gonna start to slow down. This is where you see what kind of power you have for the day in your legs. In these videos, I suggest resistance for you. But if you haven't noticed the theme of this video, it's listen to your body. If that resistance feels too easy or too hard, you find what works for you for today. The two most important rules that I have for you, if you're gonna remember anything, is number one, no bouncing in the saddle when you're going fast. Number two, when you're out of the saddle, that you have some support, AKA your feet are not falling like rocks, like you're gliding down. Those are my two big rules. From there, go ahead and play and figure out what works for you. Let's go ahead and talk about some general safety tips. I have 3 of them for you. Number 1 is make sure that you are cleared for exercise. That is the most important thing. If you are new to cardiovascular exercise or you've never taken a cycle class before, your goal is going to be simply to move your body, right? I am not expecting you to follow everything that I say. I just want you to move. The maximum amount of exertion that I would like for you to do is a 7 out of 10 on your scale of rate of perceived exertion. That's different from the resistance that I just talked about. Your 7 out of 10 should feel like an easy hard. Like you are no longer able to breathe through your nose, you're breathy, but your sentences are shorter. Not a few words, but you can get maybe 4, 5, 6 words out. Take a breath, 5, 6 words out. Do a few workouts at this level, and then you can start experimenting and pushing yourself a little bit harder. Piggybacking on that last point is point number 2. At no point should you be so out of breath that you cannot catch your breath. That is never the point of any of these rides. I never ever want you to go to that point. And if I'm being honest with you, you're about 30 seconds away from needing a trash can because you're about to empty out the contents of your stomach. I've seen it happen, not in my personal classes, but I've seen it happen before. So keep that in mind. If you get to the point where you are starting to feel lightheaded because you're breathing so hard, can't catch your breath, I need you to go back to base. Keep pedaling your flywheel until you start to gain control of your breathing. Number 3 is if you need extra recoveries, take them. I'm not known to be the most generous with my recoveries, but at any point in time, if you're like, oh my God, Anna, what the heck? Take a recovery, jump back in. There is no shame. When I teach class, I tend to rewind my songs the first 30 seconds like twice because I need a recovery. So take what you need. And that leads me to number 4. Again, theme of the video, if something doesn't feel right, don't do it. If you need to adjust your bike, pause, get off, and adjust. All right, do not do anything that does not feel right for your body. Doesn't matter what I say, you come first. And that moves us on to the last part of the video, which is modifications. We do a lot of things in these videos. I don't expect you to do absolutely every single thing that I do. However, if you feel good, absolutely jump in and do it, but here are the modifications for the following. Jumps. You can either choose to stay seated or stay up for the entire duration of the interval. This is especially important if you have hips, knees, or lower back that just don't love that in and out of the saddle movement, out of the saddle speed efforts. We don't do them, ever. I can't do them, so I don't expect you to do them. Standing climbs, standing runs, attacks, any move out of the saddle, choose to take it in the saddle with a prescribed resistance and RPMs. Traveling jumps, you have some options here. You can choose to stay in a hovered position, which is a pullback climb. You can choose to do an attack. If those don't work for you, any climbing position or seated position will do. Choreography. 90% of the choreography that I demonstrate out of the saddle can be done seated. Of course, you know, because I say it quite often, that choreography is optional. If you don't want to do it, don't. Just focus on the ride, the resistance, the music, and just powering yourself through. And that is it. Please let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or feedback in the comments below. If we're friends on Instagram, shoot me a DM in there and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I am seriously so excited for this project. I have been teaching cycle for 5 years. I absolutely love my in-person classes, and I am so excited to bring some of that energy to you in your home. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next ride. Bye.